You're listening to the Mess and Show podcast.
Shut the fuck up and just press play. You're not a fucking DJ, man, you're just a slave. Everybody says that you're on the spectrum. You don't know what that is, so you take it in the rectum. Don't give a fuck, but I give a hell yes. Stone cold with the cold flow, broke as a joke. Beat you fucking up as the goddamn joke. The funny thing is, you a Rastafari. Trying to be a Muslim, but you handicapped. As a matter of fact, that's why I'm mad. You're such an old hat, that's why I laugh. I paint the perfect picture, you're the pussy with the dress. Less stress for the mess. Faking all the success, taking no more regrets. Fuck what you mix. Pantera Kid is a sign of heritage. Nose to the grindstone, close to the comatose. I'm bald and fat, and I'm always talking shit. I'm never up to scratch, but only bitches quit. I'm bald and fat, and I'm always talking shit. I'm never up to scratch, but only bitches quit.
But no, welcome to the Mess and Show podcast. I am the host that loves to keep it gross, and we're here recording here at the outhouse, here at my house. And today I have two special guests. Today I have the Dirty Birds from AACW.
Yes, sir.
How you guys doing today?
Pretty good.
So tell my people a little bit about you guys. Like, you know, how did it all start?
Go ahead, old man.
We one day, Jason Maples from Heroes and Legends Wrestling, pretty bigger promotion around the area, travels all around the U.S., but he posted that he needed some scrubs to fill up some spots in the Battle Royale.
Some rats.
Yeah. And we were like, hey, we'll reach out and just for shits and gigs, and ended up, he's like, yeah, definitely, you know, we're going to do a seminar if you guys are interested with Santino Marella. So we got approved for that. The first show, we got a little bit of time. We went up there, did some training, took some advice from Santino and some other vets like Sam Knight, a couple other bigger names. Hacksaw gave us some advice, Sandman, some vets, and he saw that I shared it, and he was like, bro, are the Dirty Birds doing this? I told him, I said, reach out, I'll hook you up. So we got it official. We both got our little time in the Battle Royal, and we sold a lot of tickets, and, you know, we had a blast. We didn't have much time because we were green. You know, we got to earn that right to get up there and stuff, but that's basically how we got our foot wet up in the door.
So introduce, like, what's your name in the Dirty Birds?
I'm Rooster.
Rooster?
I'm the Goose.
Goose.
And I think he forgot to mention this tag team started long ago. We've been teammates, Prue High School football, Prue High School wrestling.
Oh, Tigers.
Oh yeah,
Yes,
we
sir.
go way
Yeah.
back. Tigers all the way. So this tag team started probably 2014, 2015, somewhere in there. So that's the paterfamilias. That's the beginning of this thing for sure.
And yeah, because I saw you guys at the Carver Center a couple months ago. I think it was.
It's been 2 months ago because we missed last month.
July
And
16th.
It was funny because I walked in and my buddy Mikey, you know, him, his son, Bree, they all have Dirty Bird shirt on.
Yep.
And I'm looking around, I'm like, God damn, there's a lot of Dirty Bird shirt around. I was like, what's going on? Who the hell are Dirty? And then Mikey's like, oh, wait till you see the Dirty Bird, because I met you before that, you know,
Yeah.
partying at Mikey's house. And as soon as you came out, I went, that's the motherfucking Dirty Bird. And of course, it's that guy that I partied with.
P.S. You get the merch at the Dirty Birds _IG.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Hell yeah. So, you guys going to get the BPP? You going for them belts, or? I had to wait around you take a drink of water.
I'm glad you asked. I'm so glad you mentioned BPP, the bulletproof pansies, the bulletproof pussies, the bulletproof pandas, whatever you want to call them fools, man.
I like bulletproof pandas. That's
Whatever you want to call them fools. They say it's on site. They say they stack bodies.
What?
But they are not ready for this. They are not.
What?
2-on-2. They would not. They could not
Get
hang.
'em.
They could not hang 2-on-2, and they know that.
That's pretty cool. Is there any other tag teams? Because I only saw them two.
The Smelly Club.
The Smelly Club.
They're a group of young dudes. They're two guys. One Tanner Kelly and
Smelly
Brian.
Kelly.
Yeah, Smelly Kelly.
Smelly
and
Kelly.
as we came up with non-flying Brian. But we're in a little Greenhorns group chat for the guys that are green, and they like to talk their smack.
Nice.
But they think just because the Dirty Birds are young and they've got a little more experience, they don't realize what they want to mess with.
And you guys wrestle out of Kokomo too, doesn't it? AACW go around Peru and.
We're currently right now in Kokomo, strictly to the Carver Center, but we're working on I think they said next year, once the new year comes, we're gonna try to expand and travel more.
We need to
and
get you guys an
more
outhouse
shows.
out there. Do an outhouse show. Get a ring out in the middle of the fucking
Yeah.
field.
Jeff would love to do some backyard wrestling.
Yes.
Absolutely, he's kind of
Yeah. We'll bring
the
some
technical
ladders.
guy,
Yeah.
and I like the
Some Nick
extreme
Gage
stuff.
shit.
Yeah,
Some Nick Gage shit.
absolutely.
We'll bring some light tubes. Have a
Oh,
little fun
yeah.
out there.
See, he would be like, no, but I
Tag
would
me
be
in,
like,
tag
yes,
me in.
yes, sir.
Exactly.
We actually our last show, we found out it was a no DQ, and the first thing I was like, somebody's got to hit me with the kendo, and he was like,
To the head or just
right on the back,
Oh,
and
yeah,
it
okay.
feels great. I love it.
is headshots allowed at AACW?
We don't know too much. I mean, we're still new guys in the business
So you're
with
still
Shane.
pushing the limits. Then,
Yeah,
you
but
know?
we're just, we're not afraid to ask questions and ask the guys that have been there a long time, like Travis Southernton. He's been there for, what do you say, 30 years or
20,
so?
30-year vet. Great
Yeah,
guy.
great
So you
guy.
guys grew up watching wrestling?
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. Actually, me and him are probably in a competition right now to who can have the better action figure collection
Oh, shit.
in Miami County.
In or out of the box?
I do both. He's
'Cause
mainly
I got my Crispin wall in my in my kitchen right now.
he mainly lets them breathe.
I let 'em
but
breathe.
if I can get them packaged and the packaging's in good condition, I like to keep them that way, just because I know one day they're gonna be worth a value.
Yeah, but you can't set them up in cool little.
But that's why you buy one of each, so you can let them breathe. And then
one to rock, one to stock.
yeah, I probably got close to 150 figs, and then I got all the cool ring accessories. I got a War Games. I just got a very rare Hell in a Cell set up.
Nice.
It's kind of dope, and a couple just Walmart rings. And
You know what my favorite was growing up? It was the old blue cage
Oh,
in
the blue
WWF.
ring, yep,
Yeah,
yep.
the old,
we just saw one. Shout out to Kokomo Toys and Collectibles. We just
Yeah.
saw one there, and
Yeah.
some of
those are
them
so
rings
fun.
from back when I was a
Yeah.
kid, and well, all of us were kids. Now you look at them like that was $20, and now
Yeah.
you pay $150 for one of those.
Yeah, I haven't been in there in a while. I like that place.
Oh,
Kokomo Collectible.
I can't go in there. I leave with.
Yeah, I know,
I
I'm
spend
scared.
$100 every time I go in
'cause
there.
He was on Morgan. I remember that he moved downtown.
Yeah,
And last time I was in there, I was on Morgan. I was like, I can't go back in there, dude.
yeah. I
start
I
spending too much
introduced
money.
him, and now he's like, anytime we go in there, we gotta leave with at least one fig. And last few times I've went in, I've usually get like 5 or 6 of the cheaper figs, but now they got a glass case. It's got some of the rare stuff. Like they had a rare Steve Austin that came with the Swinged Eagle and the Smoking Skull.
Oh, nice.
Knee braces on.
Yeah,
Everything.
very detailed. I copped that, and then recently I got the Triple H when he returned with the jean jacket.
Oh,
and
yeah.
That's probably my
With
favorite.
the Motorhead song.
Yep, it's
Yeah.
probably my second favorite fig. I copped a super good deal, perfect condition. Backlash Eddie Guerrero from when he beat Brock Lesnar.
Nice.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
probably my favorite
Latino
fig.
Ease.
Yes.
You think he slept with China?
100%.
Oh yeah.
And many more.
I mean, you look at Vicky at the time.
Good point. That's a
Hey,
good way of putting
if
it.
you ain't cheating, you ain't trying.
That's awesome. So you excited for the SummerSlam coming up? Next
Yeah,
week?
we're gonna
With
we
the
got
same main event though. The same.
Yeah, I mean, it in the business aspects, it's gonna draw money though, and a lot of you're gonna have your fans. Oh, I hate this.
Yeah.
They're gonna watch that pay per view,
Yep.
and they're gonna pay the money to see it,
Yep.
and they're gonna probably sell that place out. I mean, Brock's a money drawer.
And I got you guys on this night where Vince McMahon announced his retirement yesterday too.
Yup.
Yeah,
He
that.
couldn't handle the Dirty Birds coming up.
Well, you know what? I think you're right because he's
Now you guys can get in.
Vince be handing these tag team scrubs like
Yeah.
the Usos.
No, I hate the
and-
the Viking Raiders. I hate those guys.
Trash.
On TV, they're trash, but I actually got time to meet them and
Yeah,
communicate with them
drinking.
in person after a show.
Yeah,
they're very
true.
nice guys.
Yeah, but their wrestling is trash.
Absolutely, they're
Now Jeff knows this about me. I'm kind of out of the current loop on Raw and NXT and stuff, but there is a level of wrestler that's coming up right now from the NCAA Division I level. I'm a big wrestling guy, so they're doing these NILs right now for college wrestlers. And I mean, this next level of athlete that's coming up is going to be insane. The Creed Bros, Damon
Nice.
Kemp. You got Gable coming in. I don't know what his character's going to be yet, but he's going to be a killer in the ring. So this next level of guys.
So you like amateur wrestling?
Yes, I love
Nice.
amateur wrestling.
What
Those
was,
are
what
the-
was your favorite move to do?
Personally, anything from your feet. So any takedown, really double leg, high crotch, single leg.
See, mine was the crossover butcher.
Oh,
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah, because I'm top heavy.
Yup.
So all I do is just knock you out for a second with my crossover. Because the ref will like, watch that cross. I'll just hit you in the jaw
Yep.
and just squeeze both your arms and just go top heavy on you.
Mine was the famous. If you're a Peru alumni, you know it's actually named after me. AKA, it's called the Closser, but it's actually the real name's the reverse cradle. But
Yeah, okay. Yes,
backstory from that, I was not the best technical guy. I was just strong as an ox. So I watched the movie Legendary with John Cena, and they're like, "You're setting it up." And I was like, I'm going to try this one time just for shits and gigs. And it got me to the semi-state first round. It got me
26 falls.
Yeah, 26 pins.
My
And,
buddy's, his favorite was, what was he? Leon, no, not Crossface Chicken Wing. The Grapevine, I think it was called.
Yep.
Where you
Their
lay on
legs
top of
locked
them.
up.
Yeah. And it never worked. It never, like I go, why is this your favorite move, man? Like, because every time
You can't do nothing.
Yeah, every time you do it, he'll lock the legs and they just flip them over.
Yep.
I go, idiot.
Yeah, you lock that leg underneath mine, and I get a hold of it.
Shout out,
that
Mike.
head's coming under, and
Shout
I'm
out,
rolling.
Mike. He'll be on this podcast. He's starting his own shit too. But he had his nickname was Caffeine Kid.
Oh.
And this is right when Joel
Gimmick.
Cola came out.
The nicotine
Yeah,
fiend.
yeah. But it was worthless because he would chug a bottle of Jolt right before he wrestled,
Oh,
and he'd
God.
get tired the first minute.
Yeah, that sugar rush kills.
It's so funny because I'm like, come on, he had it on the back of his jacket and everything.
That just reminds me, like, we played the 2K series and stuff, and he
Yeah.
had a gimmick.
Yeah.
It was the nicotine fiend.
Yep, Caffeine Kid, and that's his partner. You gotta make Caffeine Kid now with the nicotine fiend. Like, come on, with the belt, the back of the head, you fiend.
But I did want to add on to something you brought up earlier, BPP. Personally, in my opinion,
The Bulletproof Pandas.
personally, in my opinion, that was a fatal 4-way tag match they got them belts on.
Yes.
And the Dirty Birds did a lot of beatdown on some guys in there. So I think if we wouldn't have got added to that match, they would have struggled to get them belts.
Oh,
so
yeah.
they can say what they want. They got to give a little credit to the Dirty
Yeah.
Birds for that victory.
I know I missed that show because I had a show in Lafayette that night. And I was like, God, you got to book it the same night that I go play drums in Lafayette.
Hey, that's the
But
biz,
we
you know?
should mix it up a little bit. You know how like Max Weinberg plays for Conan O'Brien, like the drummer.
On the-
Oh,
Like,
yeah,
on the Late
yeah.
Show and shit like that.
Questlove or whatever.
Yeah, we should play like the Dirty Birds have their own introduction. You know, like their side band, the Dirty Bird Band.
Yeah, that would be dope.
And we can use shitty drum sets too and use it in the match. You know, like hit him in the head with the drum.
Yeah. I would like
Guitar line coming out.
kind of like one of our some type of no DQ match
Like,
or something.
yeah, like Miz TV, but with the band.
Oh, I see what you're
you
saying.
See what I'm saying? Like the Tonight Show, you know, the Dirty Bird, you know, and shit
See,
like
we've
that.
been recently thinking of starting our own show or podcast too. So
So I can book music and wrestling at the same
yeah,
night.
exactly.
Yeah.
That would be great. We haven't came up with a name, but I have an idea because we just released some hoodies that we haven't made many of them yet because we were kind of warm to our show to kind of see people's reaction. A lot of people liked them, so I think we're going to start producing them. But we're going to flip it because it's kind of we're going to put the Dirty Birds logo on the front because right now on the front it says we like to talk birdie, and then on the back it has the Dirty Birds. But we're going to flip it because it kind of you're going to be looking at the back most of the time. But
Where did the origins? Where did you guys come up with the name Dirty Birds? Was it from Atlanta Falcons?
Office Dome.
Jamel
Definitely,
Anderson?
yeah, definitely just sitting around. I've got. I mean, I meet people and I just make gimmicks for them. So
Yeah.
like within a probably another 20 minutes, I'll have a good old. I'll have a good gimmick for you.
Hell yeah.
Mess
dog.
It was a rough. It was
Mess
a
dog gotta eat.
it was a rough start because and this is hard to believe, but we started off and I was like the Dirty Dogs,
Yeah.
and then 2 weeks
What,
later,
spelled DAWGS.
2 weeks later, Dolph Ziggler and Rude debuted as the Dirty Dogs, and I was
Yeah.
like,
Two journeymen put together a worst tag team in the league
Oh,
right
yeah.
now, the Dirty Dogs.
yeah, they're trash too, by the
So
way.
they're a rip off of the Dirty Birds.
Yes.
Yeah, I think so,
100%.
absolutely. We had the idea first,
Like how the Renegade was to the Warrior.
and
Journeyman.
then we came up with
Church.
then we came up with we're gonna wear some flannels, tank top, cowboy.
Dirty
a week
junkies,
or two later,
Dirty junkies.
a week or two later, Brock comes out with the Cowboy
yeah.
Brock, and I'm like,
Cowboy
man,
Brock,
every
yeah.
time we come up with something,
Yeah.
someone's stealing it, and he came up with the Dirty Birds, and I was like, okay, you knew it's, there's probably been
Yeah.
100 Dirty Dogs and stuff like that. You ain't never heard of the Dirty Birds.
have you watched the Always Sunny, where they did the Eagles?
No.
Kind of like that. They were the Eagles, and they're like, oh, Doing this, yeah, doing the same
I
kind
know
of
they do
gimmick.
some wrestling stuff on there, but
Yeah.
I never really like seen it. They
And
do some
Dan DeVito
comedic
was the
stuff.
trash man.
Yeah,
He-
okay.
the trash can and the eating garbage. Which that guy's underrated in that series, Dan DeVito.
I've never watched it. I'll have to. Is it on
it's-
Netflix? Or?
Yeah, I think so.
Hulu.
Yeah,
Hulu has it.
yeah,
I got the Hulu.
Hulu has everything.
For sure.
Hell yeah. So you think Roman Reigns is going to win then?
This is for the first time. Like usually through all the matches, I'm like, obviously Reigns is winning, but with him requesting this lighter schedule and taking all this time off, and Theory just winning that Money in the Bank, and Cena's 20 years, and
And didn't he say something about Vince McMahon's gone? He's gone.
yeah,
Brock?
he did walk out
So
of
Roman's going to win then.
he did walk out of the show today, and he came back at the
Okay.
end of the show. He was like, all right, but everybody knows Brock's a hothead. If he don't get what he wants, he's gonna probably shoot on you.
Oh yeah.
And we've
And
seen that many times.
You know that tag match with the Bloodline and whatever they're called? I can't remember.
Street Profits.
Street Profits.
Street Profits.
And they're like the special guest referee. I was like hoping for The Rock.
It's Jeff Jarrett.
I know. I was like, talk about the biggest disappointment.
Double J?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Stop.
Yes.
Yeah.
Jeff Jarrett.
Double J's in WWE.
Dude, listen up, slap nuts.
They even announced it, and they were like, did this big promo showing him, and the crowd was just like,
Yeah, I know.
what?
It was like when Theory came out for the Money in the Bank.
Yeah.
It was the same look. Everyone went,
They're trying to,
huh?
and I don't like what they're doing with Theory. I get he's a young guy, but
You
they're
watch
just,
AEW?
I've watched it here and
Yeah.
there, but I just can't get into
I'm
it.
all
Yeah.
elite, man.
And it's-
Jericho putting it on.
And
That's
I
one
like-
thing.
All elite.
I like
At that
wrestling
Fury
in
Fest.
general, but like since I grew up with the WWE, I don't know. I kind of got this mindset of I'm betraying them, but the
no, they'll come
product,
back. Everybody will come back to WWE.
yeah,
eventually.
the
It
product
always
in
does.
WWE
My dad
just,
says.
Yeah,
I don't know.
always.
Growing up in the
I've been through this
attitude,
already.
growing up in that attitude, ruthless aggression era, and then going to this PG-13 bullshit.
See, I watched wrestling in
Garbage.
'88. What year were you born?
98.
Yeah,
99.
See? Yeah, see, I was.
Hey, I still know about that stuff though.
Because my grandma took me to the Kokomo Memorial Gym, and it was
Okay.
WWF, and the first match was the Bushwhackers versus Demolition.
Bush. Oh, no, that's not who we want a piece of, is it?
Wait,
no. It's the.
Speaking of heroes and legends, we were
What are they?
we're trying to get a chance to
Their asses.
beat up the
grass.
headbangers.
Oh, the headbangers.
Their ass is
Mosh-
grass.
Yeah,
Mosh
if
and
we get
Axe
a
or
if we
whatever.
get a hold of them, they're gonna get their head stomped
Hell
in.
yeah, I'll help you with that. Let's
Yeah,
do that.
their ass
I'll
is
distract
grass.
him. I'll
Yeah.
distract him. I'll have the big bustier that he had on and shit when he wrestled.
Yeah, my dad's a big wrestling guy. He's an old school guy too. So like I started out golden era.
Yeah.
He introduced me, Hogan, Ultimate Warrior, Honky Tonk Man, stuff, just characters, man.
The dude you
Great-
can't forget.
Great
Jake the
characters.
Snake.
Jake the
He
Snake.
was my favorite growing
Yeah.
up.
Yes, great
Yeah.
character. So when I came to my dad with the Dirty Birds, he's a total golden era guy. He's like, y'all need wings, y'all need feathers,
No, that's
y'all need
the same thing Always Sunny did.
a character. You know
They
what
did
I
that,
mean?
yeah,
So-
because they did the Eagles and they had the wings.
So we're gonna work a couple stuff in there, bring a little golden era, but we're attitude era guys, ruthless aggression guys. So that's how we're gonna wrestle. That's how we're gonna present ourselves. But I miss the characters. I love the characters. I
Yeah.
think it's great for the kids. Instead of it's not for all the adults. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Not every
yeah.
character is for adults. So I think any character you have that a kid likes is a good character.
No, you guys need giant bird cages.
Something.
Something. Like,
Something.
don't let that bird out. Don't let that bird.
We got some ideas
Or
where
you guys are sleeping like it's a covered bird. You guys, you guys are sleeping. Then they take off the cloth and you guys wake up like, oh,
guys got
like
ideas.
Our old football
Yeah.
entrance, yeah.
Got ideas.
We got
Yeah.
some ideas we're not releasing yet. We kind of want to, if when we get them down, we're going to kind of surprise our crowds and stuff.
Yeah.
But
oh yeah, turn all black.
yeah,
Hear
well, we
birds.
started out all black, and it was like Santino Marella. A lot of people, his gimmick was funny. He's actually very talented, and he knows his shit. And he gave us some good advice. He goes, first thing he said to us was like, "You guys are a tag team. I can tell." And we're like, "Yeah." And he goes, "You guys remind me of the Steiner brothers." And I was like, "Oh shit, that's a
So you're
compliment."
Scotty.
Yeah, he'd probably be more
Yeah,
rigged.
yeah,
I'm
more
just,
rigged,
I'm just
yeah.
Jack.
I was
He,
like, you're
he can
Scotty.
wrestle, yeah.
Cool with that.
But
They call Rooster. You're Scotty.
he was kind of giving us the concept of you got to contrast. So because we were first 3 shows, it was all black, like black
yeah.
and white NWO kind of vibes. It was and nothing wrong with that, but it was like let's try the white tanks with the black pants sometime. And we debuted those in our last show, and just the contrast, like he said, just looks so much amazing.
Some tie dyes would be cool too.
A lot of guys amateurize around Indiana all black. We've been in 2 battle royales, and if you wear any different color, you're gonna stick out. So you know, I mean, I don't want to give anybody tips or give anything away, but the all black's got to go. You know, contrast is the main thing. If you want a kid to remember you, this is one for me. We met him this last weekend. Mike King, shout out Mike King. That dude, you won't forget that dude. He's just got the colors. He's got the look.
Nice.
His ring gear is popping. I'll give him that.
Bright colors, and it's got the kind of, I don't know what you would call them, little tassels hanging down the pants.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
kinda like-
Bro's like the Macho Man.
yeah,
kinda, bro.
that's what it gave me. I was like,
Little
he got that
curly
Macho
curls,
Man
yeah.
vibes. Yeah, great gear.
Hell yeah, that's awesome.
And we got more gear that we're working on. We want to have, I mean, obviously our tires we like because it's simple, but it kind of catches your eye.
Yeah, exactly.
But for other shows and stuff, you know, we want to throw other types of gears in because, you know, we got a lot in our gimmick. A lot of people think it's kind of, a lot of people make jokes, oh, the dirty turds, and they think it's
Yeah.
about birds, but the
Yeah.
dirty birds is, you know, even though we're kind of, right now, we're kind of face, but we do dirty shit.
Yeah,
You know, some
yeah,
Lobos, eye pokes.
exactly,
Kind of
yeah.
like, he always brings it up, and I totally agree. Los Guerreros.
Yeah.
They were heel, but no one ever booed Los Guerreros. You know,
Yeah.
they be doing the dirtiest shit, and it's just like, yeah, like, and that's kind of,
That's when you know you're over.
yeah,
You know,
yeah.
you can do the most evil shit and people love you for it.
Yeah, so we're stuck in that between a rock and a hard place with heel and face. I mean, face is fun, but I'm a heel deep down. I like
Yeah.
getting dirty. I like
Yeah.
breaking the rules a little bit.
Yeah, that's why you need a manager to do the breaking for you.
There you go.
Then you guys
Do the
let you
talking
go,
There you
for
go.
us.
I do
Yeah.
it behind your back. You guys don't realize I'm cheating for you.
There you go.
Yeah, and really, if you look at a lot of great tag teams and individuals that are big heels, for example, Roman Reigns
Yeah.
got Heyman, Brock had Heyman. You know,
And he
there's
didn't even change that much.
yeah, there's
he
a,
was doing the same kind of, you know, just talk
and they
the
were
same
cheering him
way.
then,
Yeah, I
and then
know,
he
that's
gets
what I'm
Paul
saying.
Heyman. Now
He
he's
did
like,
the same shit.
fuck you.
Like,
You
At
know?
least The Rock changed when he got booed.
Yeah,
You know?
hit Hollywood Rock.
Yeah.
And, you know, there's other great managers that did this stuff. Just in our era, every heel guy had Paul Heyman.
Oh yeah.
Because, I mean,
Yeah, you're a Heyman guy.
I can't think of any super manager in our era that pops up and is just like, that's a bad
I would
guy. I
have
mean,
to-
now you'd have to go to the golden era for the managers, you know
Yeah,
what I mean?
Bobby the Brain.
I got
That's the
one.
best.
This is a little throwback. What's his name? TNA. James. He was a business manager.
Oh, I know you're talking
That
about.
dude
Did he do like a
crazy.
censorship?
That
shit
dude
too
was
in
crazy.
TNA?
He was
Yeah.
awesome.
He's kind of,
James something, bro. He was scary.
yeah, he gave off some vampire type
he was
vibes.
scary,
I know what you're talking about.
Nice. So when's your guys' next match coming up?
Man, after our last show, we actually got a tag team match posted up on YouTube thanks to Gonzo.
You know,
We've had a lot of people reaching out, really. I think, I'm not 100% sure, we'll be doing a tag team I can't even
Turmoil.
say that. Turmoil up in
tournament.
up in Terre Haute. They invited us up there.
Down
and then,
there in Terre Haute.
Up there, down there, whatever the directions. And then Bulletproof Posse has another promotion they wrestle for.
Okay.
They reached out and want to go.
Is that the same one Jordan was talking about? Like WAR or something?
WCCW.
I think that was
Oh,
it.
that was it.
There's.
I remember Jordan talking about some other shit too.
It's
like
somewhere
WAR
like
or something.
I don't remember. They said like Jeffersonville or Madison, but they go to a few different shows and they were trying to talk to him and be like, hey, you know,
Yeah.
these guys are legit. You know, some of them guys in the BPP, you know, off the mat, you know, they've been in the game a while and they helped us out after our matches and give us great advice as well. Even though they're, you know, break kayfabe in the ring, they're our enemies, but outside, there's some cool
it's
cats to
respect,
talk
yeah.
to.
I think we kind of got in their head a little bit too. So we
Uh-oh.
let them know. We let
Uh-oh.
them know the two. They like to revert back to that battle royale where they tossed us out, and then they like to revert back to last week where they won the titles. But we have never been in the ring 2-on-2 with them.
You know, there's a
There's-
reason because
oh,
they're ducking you.
Exactly. So we've been telling them.
sir.
We've been telling them 2-on-2 will take you. 2-on-2 will take you. And respectfully, they laid down the challenge. They hooked up the promotion. So now we just got to bring it. Shout out, respect, whatever.
I got a good T-shirt idea for you guys too. Quit ducking me
Oh,
with a brick. Yeah, with a brick and a duck.
Ooh, okay. Yeah, and that's another thing about the Dirty Birds. Like, everybody's got fans, and
Oh yeah, I was entertained.
We didn't
'cause I was
real-
there at the Rumble or the little Rumble you guys did.
Yes, sir.
yeah.
Because
Yes,
that
sir.
weird clown guy won.
And this last
Hysterics.
Yeah.
this last show, we asked Shane Cosworth for tickets because we like selling tickets, pay our dues, and we sold 40, and I think we had probably 65 people show.
Nice.
So we sold all of our tickets and had some
brought
show
the people.
Through the door,
yeah,
through the
yeah.
door for sure.
Brought the
And
crowd.
we were selling tickets till the day of the match. We were like, hey, I had a family situation where a close buddy of mine, basically, calling my brother LLD, Daryl, he passed away. So I was in a week where I wasn't really communicating with people. I was kind of getting my mind straight. And we had that last week and a few days, and we were like rushing them, and we got them all sold, and we got our job, and that's part of the business. If you can sell tickets, and it don't like a lot of people want to talk. Oh, that's your family and friends. Hey, it's bringing in profit. That's all that matters.
As long as you can draw.
And
Where's your mom?
Yeah.
Where's your grandma? Mine's right out in the crowd, bro. They're cheering for me. Bro.
You guys like music? Like I know I saw you at the Rob Zombie show.
Yes,
so I know
sir.
you do. But you know the band Guar?
Yeah.
GWAR.
Yeah. They wear
Viva
some
La
crazy.
Bam.
Yeah,
Viva La Bam. That's where I seen them out.
They wear the
that's
crazy outfits, dude.
Yeah, the lead singer died, right? And a lot of people are like, "Oh man, the band ain't the same," because they replaced him with the original bass player doing vocals, and they're like, "Oh, they ain't the same. It ain't the same." Blah blah. And he said the coolest quote. He goes, "Yeah, when your grandmother died, your family sucked too." I was like, that makes so much sense.
That's the truth, though.
Because I love that band. But they need to get back to heavy metal, though. They're going kind of softer. And I love the era with War when it's – because we opened up for them in Detroit, and it was ridiculous. Like,
wow.
We got to hang out backstage, the Jaeger Monster, meet Dave Rocky. That's why I got that tattoo of Odorous.
Peep the Warrior tat, though.
Yeah, Warrior. It was my Warrior.
Yeah. That's sick.
Fire.
Yeah. What was your favorite Warrior promo? Because I know your dad watched a lot of Warrior if he's in the Golden era.
I got you. So it's definitely Mega Power, the Mega Powers promo. He's just Randy's talking, Randy's spitting, and you just see
Or
the Warrior.
Mega Maniacs.
Mega Maniacs. You just see
Yeah,
the
that's my
Warrior.
first team I collected.
Just getting fired up behind him. Like,
Yeah, he's going, "Ooh,
what's this guy doing?
When he was trying to talk like Macho Man, that shit made me laugh.
Yes.
He's
Yes.
like, "Oh, you won't feel it," but it sounds like he's like all steroided out.
Yeah, he
He's,
was.
like,
I
shaking.
mean, but
Yeah.
shout out to Warrior, the Indiana guy.
Yep. Crawfordsville.
Crawfordsville.
My favorite one, it's a sad one, but it was his last promo, and he
that was a good one.
it was, once you found out he passed the next day, it's like he knew he was gonna die
exactly.
that day.
Like he knew it.
'Cause he literally
That's why he
yeah.
mended all the bridges.
He
and
knew.
shit.
He said, "This is gonna be my last," and it hit hard because not just as an Indiana guy, but that dude, even though back then there was a lot of steroid guys, but you like seeing them dudes that were super jacked, and Warrior was just. I mean, yeah, Hogan's a big name, but I liked Warrior over Hogan.
Yeah, definitely. I always get shit. My buddy Will lives in Oregon, and he's a big Hogan fan. I hated Hulk Hogan. I love Hollywood, but I hated Hulk Hogan. I always rooted for Macho Man, Jake, even fucking Greg and Hammer Valentine before I would. Hulk
And
Hogan.
Hogan made himself a big name in that era, but I think NWO just made.
Oh yeah, that changed the game.
Yeah, and
because like it was lit the fuse.
Yeah.
And then Hollywood just exploded.
because he was like the biggest name of. I mean, probably still one of the biggest names
WWF.
ever.
Yeah.
And then he just, screw you guys, I'm going bad.
Because it wouldn't have worked with anybody else.
No.
Because they said he was trying to get Sting to do it. And I was
Sting's
like,
too
Sting
nice
is
of
not
a
a
guy.
WWF guy. He never was. And with Hollywood Hogan coming from WWE, it
worked perfect because all three of them guys came from WWE, went to WCW, and kind of took it over. And you're like, man, we cheered these guys. Now they're taking over this company that's our rival company, and they're being the bad guys and trash talking us, and then whooping everybody in the WCW company. It's like, but I mean, it eventually got too extreme. We tried watching one of the shows, and every match it was NWO this, NWO that.
Well, that's why
match.
you channel flipped.
Yeah.
You channel
Full
flipped.
match.
You always went USA
Yeah.
to TNT, USA, TNT. Because you're like, I don't care about
We were
Roadblock.
like sick of hearing the theme song by the end of the one episode of WCW
I think
96.
by the end of the episode, every match consists of NWO, and then I think 4 of the matches consist of Crispin Wall.
Yep.
Yeah.
The Horseman before he was one of the Horsemen.
Yeah.
I like go a little later down that rabbit hole, and you find yourself heroes like DDP and
Yes,
Sting and Booker T, and Billy Kidman was one of mine.
Yeah.
That
The
late
Ravens flock.
that
in
late
WCW.
'90s WCW was fire.
I think our flock's a little bigger than Ravens.
Oh shit!
Agreed.
Yeah.
Agreed. A little cooler too.
And a bit more extreme. We got some extreme guys in there. I think that there's some people in the flock that got potential. If they really wanted to, they could be in the business.
Yeah.
Like I keep trying to convince him, but shout out to my buddies, his boy Bus.
Oh.
He
Turkey?
Yeah.
You talking
The
about
turkey.
the turkey?
The turkey.
We're trying to I mainly,
Gobble,
but
gobble, motherfucker.
I've been getting in his ear like, hey, there's always a.
Oh yeah, his move is the Pete's Cobbler. That's his finisher.
Hey, these fools keep playing the numbers game. We got something tucked away. And
Yeah, and he ain't the Bus because it's a nickname.
He's big as a bus.
Big as a
and
bus,
he's
boy.
stronger than any
Yeah.
animal or
Hell
person
yeah.
you can imagine. He's just a quote Scott
Genetic
Steiner.
freak.
Exactly, genetic freak.
breathing down our necks.
Man, I was at Cedar Point one year with my family, and I swear I saw Scott Steiner get on a roller coaster ride at Cedar Point. It looked just like him. He's wearing a black shirt, muscle. I was like, dude,
Body all saggy besides
dude,
his
yeah.
implants.
And he had a little girl with him, and I was like, dude, that's fucking Scott. Tony's like, that's not Scott Steiner. I'm like, dude, how can you miss him?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah. So I learned something about. I mean, I don't know if it's 100% true, but I learned because if you look at him now, his whole body's all saggy, but his arms are still. I guess them bumps are actually implanted.
Yeah, I heard that. Yeah, I heard that. Yeah.
Those are
Okay.
implanted, not
Yeah.
from
'Cause
roids.
he
I mean,
is.
he's on roids, but
Yeah.
the little humps were
eventually-
implants because
Wow.
his arms were starting to sag from the roids, so he got them implanted so they stay tight. So if you notice, if you watch him now, it's like his arms are jacked and tight, and the rest of his body's like
Yeah.
jello, and it's like. I mean, I'm not hating on that stuff. I mean, it's not nowadays. It's thankful
Same.
because guys our size, that's what people like to see. They don't care if you're the size of Rey Mysterio, if you're the size of freaking Andre the Giant. As long as you can sell tickets and
What's
put on
that?
a show.
Braun
for 'em.
Brakeman or
Braun Breaker.
Yeah,
That's my guy.
Yeah, yeah.
That's my new guy. He
Yeah.
reminds me a lot of my all-time
Yeah.
favorite Goldberg.
Yeah.
But
He almost killed the Taker, man.
Ah,
He almost killed Undertaker.
Damn.
As soon as he almost killed Undertaker,
Damn.
I was like, you don't deserve to be in this business.
damn.
I 100% agree, but neither one of them should have been wrestling in that environment. It was
True.
over 100 degrees in a domed building.
And that wasn't the first time Undertaker's fucked up in Saudi Arabia too.
Yes.
Remember they wrestled DX?
Yeah,
in
that was
horrible
that was probably worse than our first
yeah,
tag
the
match.
Brothers of Destruction. Was it?
That match was
That was an A compared to your guys.
yeah.
I want to hear about this now.
Yeah.
We can get into that.
Where
we can
was it
crack
at?
into that.
Kokomo?
Yes.
Oh shit.
It was literally last weekend. Our
Yeah.
first tag team match, our debut.
Yeah.
We're green, man. We're freaking green. We got all the
Three
drive.
green guys and one.
One
guy
guy,
that's been there a
yeah.
while.
We got all the drive in the world, all the talent in the world, but we're a little green, a little rough around the edges. So you get in there with another green guy, it's next to a fist fight if you don't know what you're doing. You know what I mean?
Fucking
You might as well
aliens.
start fighting.
Yeah.
So we tried doing a little technical wrestling with them. They weren't getting it. Whatever. We got to get in the gym and just get better as a group, as a whole, as a show.
Just missing the cues.
Missing the cues,
All
man.
of us
Missing
too.
the
And,
cues.
but
Not listening.
we were all we made some spots planned, because obviously everybody knows it's predetermined
Yes.
and
Oh, yeah,
stuff,
yeah.
but it's still.
Yeah.
and-
you gotta make it look good.
And it's not. These people say it's fake. No, you should
Yeah.
see some of the
Oh,
welts I
yeah.
had from them kendos and stuff. The stuff hurts.
it's real to me, damn it.
And we had some good spots planned, but it's 3 green guys and 1 guy that's been there a while, and we're trying to walk and talk, and because the crowd was loud enough, we could walk and talk, but it was just rough, and something you'll learn that you got experience. It's always left, and then you hit with your right.
Yeah.
I was Irish whipping right, and
Oh,
trying to hit
no.
with my
Yeah.
right,
Oh,
and
yeah. Oh, yeah.
we're just.
And he's going to the other side.
Yeah, and
you're like bumping into each other.
And
Oh,
it's a word. It's something you got to work on. It,
you turned it into a parking lot.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, we did the best we could. Shout out to
Here, speaking a
Gonzo.
little more.
Shout out to Gonzo as well. They were commentating. They kind of did what they could to make the match better than what it was. But we all, I mean, if you watch
Hey.
it, we all know we all as
You gotta
a
learn somewhere,
group
though.
struggled.
You
But
gotta learn somewhere.
we took the criticism and
So they didn't start booing, did
Attaboy.
they?
Attaboy.
Yeah.
Did they start
No,
booing?
no,
Okay,
no,
once
no.
started
They were-
booing,
the
you're
crowd
good.
was still.
We were lit in that match the whole time.
Yeah, the crowd
It's
was
just-
still. yeah.
It wasn't all we wanted it to be for our debut. We got the win. We got our hands raised. That's all that matters at the end of the match. You know, we just definitely wanted to perform better in the match for sure.
So they're raising your hand. You're like, oh god.
Yeah, we're knowing. You know, the boss
God
man.
that's
We got the
over.
boss man watching. You got the eyes up above. So you know, once you get back in that locker room, you know, there ain't nothing saving you. You know.
Yeah.
And you know, he had his head up. And, you know, I was like kind of discouraged. I was like, we should have done better, type of thing. But you know, the guys in there are very supportive in this company.
That's good.
They're not gonna drag you down. They're gonna. I mean, some of the things you can either take it as negative or you can take it as positive. But we walked out there and it was like, hey, you know, what did we do wrong? Tell us. We'll take it and we'll get it fixed.
And that's good though. Yeah. Because you didn't want to come up in there and be like, we got it. You know, you didn't be like that. No, because that's how you get hurt.
Yep. Yep. And
because
you know,
I've noticed that with wrestling, you have to listen. If you're not good at listening and taking advice or orders, you're not gonna, because you're only as good as your partner.
absolutely.
That you're wrestling as. You know, and that's what a lot of people don't get. You know, they're like, oh, you can be the best, you know, solo guy, but if you don't know how to work with people, you're gonna suck.
And just like the promoter Shane, he said, you're only as good as your opponent.
Yeah, exactly.
So if you're 20 years in and you're wrestling a guy that is just
Can't do shit.
dog shit,
You know.
you're both gonna look bad.
You know.
And you know, three green guys and one guy with experience. You know, he tried to do his best to kind of help us all three out and make the match a lot better. But
That's good,
I'm
though.
not
I was
gonna
entertained
complain.
by you guys, so
Yeah.
you guys need to keep it up. I
like
liked it. I
like
dug it.
a lot of the guys, especially Travis Southernton said, the crowd reacted. They were cheering.
Mm-hmm.
So obviously they didn't care too much that stuff
Yeah,
went
fuck
south.
that,
As
yeah.
long as you get a good reaction, that's all that matters. And
Yeah.
you know, everyone cheered.
As far as
and
they know,
had
it's
a
part
good
of the
time.
match. You know?
You know,
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah. This
Like,
is
look
like
at these green guys.
this is like this is not to keen eyes. Like when we watch it back, we're seeing this stuff. You know, to the crowd. Who knows if they even notice any of this stuff? You know what I mean? We're in there just working our ass
We're
off.
the same way musicians. We're the same way. Like a little mess up here and there. And like Matty criticized himself. I'm like, dude, they don't fucking know. You
You just gotta work through it.
Like,
I got a
who gives
perfect
shit?
example of that.
Yeah, Rob Zombie did that. Remember?
Yeah,
did
he
that.
said, this is the second concert in a row I fucked this song up. Did you guys notice? No. And he told John 5, amazing guitar dude.
Yeah, he was
just
killer, dude.
Slayed.
Yeah, he's killer.
And he said, man, I should have listened to you. I shouldn't have told him shit.
Yeah, I shouldn't have said nothing. You're right, John.
And no one did. You couldn't even tell
Yeah,
he
I
messed
didn't
the
notice.
song up
Yeah.
at all. I was
He
like,
just said it too early. That's all it
Yeah.
was. He just sang the chorus too early and just repeated himself again. I was like, I didn't.
it still
Who gives a
sounded
fuck?
badass.
Yeah. He put on a good show, but every time I've seen him though, he's always out of breath. Like I've seen him since '99, and he sounds the same exact way. I'm like, you figured since '99 you would learn to breathe better. You know, you know, because he'll just run across the stage back and forth and he'll go head on them, hit, hip, head. You know,
But he's
like-
still
but
amazing, though. He's great.
good. Yeah, the band's behind him, but I was like, I mean, he still gets the point across. But I'm like, it doesn't sound like the album. It won't
Right.
sound like the album.
Right.
But I'm just like, his singing technique's the same fucking way.
Yeah, and you know, that was one of the guys I've always wanted to see because growing
Oh,
up in
first time?
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Growing up in the Attitude Era, you know, you got Edge, and he was a big part of pay-per-view themes, and
yeah.
unfortunately, we didn't get to see them. But Power Man 5000, you know,
Yeah.
you got the Dudley Boys, and also
Yeah.
many other pay-per-view themes. Unfortunately, you
They
know,
couldn't play, yeah.
some technical issues with one of their vehicles and
they
stopped
didn't
that
show
show.
up.
So
Yeah, the
they
trailer.
showed up. They ended up.
No, I mean the equipment.
Yeah, the equipment didn't
band
show.
Was there.
Yeah, Rob Zombie let Static X and Power Man 5000 come out and play on his time.
Thunder
So
365.
yep,
And you know that's his little brother, right? Spider from PM5K.
yes.
Yeah, and I was like, "Come on, little brother, get on stage and do my song with me." Because it was when me and Tony were making jokes in the parking lot. We're like, you see Rob looking at his brother. He's like, "Guess you ain't playing tonight, little brother." Yeah.
And you know, there's probably
Oh, come on, Rob, let me play.
a crowd like that though. I think that's our main goal is to eventually reach the crowd level like them
Oh,
concerts
definitely,
and stuff. You
definitely.
stuff
Oh, yeah.
in the
Crowd of
wrestling shows
people.
you see on TV. You know, it feels great. I mean, I think we were told there's almost 200 people at Carver last time.
Nice.
And that,
Oh,
you know,
yeah.
people like 200 people. It's like
No, that's
in a
good.
gym like that for a
Yeah.
local wrestling show. That's
Local-
very
local
good show
musicians,
up.
That's good too.
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
it was
crowd.
packed out last time. It was lit.
Even
So-
the guys that have been there a long time was like, this one,
So I'm cordially
Packed
inviting
crowd.
you both to Harvest Fest.
oh,
Coming
I'll
up
be there.
August 13th in the Miami Open Air Auditorium. I gave it that name.
Okay.
'Cause
The
it was-
Miami Air. I
'cause
like
they were
it.
doing the festivals like that, the open air festival and shit like that.
Yeah.
And he goes, "What can we call my backyard?" Because that's all it is out in the woods. And I was like, the Miami Open Air Auditorium. And he was like, that is the most brilliant
Fire,
thing.
yeah, fire.
And if I can remember the correct dates, I'll give you a message and you can shout it out to your
Okay.
fans, or we're going to reach out and post them eventually. But
Nice. But
our next few shows, besides the one in Kokomo, is going to be pretty far away. So our flock's going to,
Terre Haute.
yeah, one Terre Haute. I think, I'm not 100% sure, but I think the other one's in Madison. So that's about 3 hours
yeah.
away
Oh,
from
so yeah,
us.
yeah,
but
yeah.
you know, I know the flock will be supporting us at home, but we'll bring as many
Head
as we
south.
can. But
Head
hey,
south.
yeah, we're heading
Migrate.
south for the
Gotta
winter.
migrate for a couple weeks.
Yep. But you know, that gives us a chance to kind of see what other crowds that aren't, you know, our friends and family
Yeah.
think of the Dirty Birds. But you know, we've wrestled at ACW and Heroes and Legends. We've had many people walk up and be like, "Hey, can we get your merch? We're fans." Like, shout out to our dude that got us in ACW, Damien DeVille.
Yeah.
He walked up to us after the show, was like, "Hey, my family wants your guys' t-shirts."
All disappointed.
Yeah.
God, tell me you got change. Like, nope, credit card only, sir. We accept Cash App.
But yeah, you know, it's even
That's
though we're
cool.
still in these smaller shows, there's fun.
Yeah, exactly.
And you know, we're not expecting to go, you know, top
yeah,
of the
on SmackDown
big
next
companies.
week. Yeah.
But you know, if that's what happens, awesome. That's the end goal. But if I end up being 30 years wrestling for the Indies, I don't
Yeah.
care. I got to wrestle professionally because you know what? Some of the best dudes you've ever seen came from the Indies,
Exactly.
like D-Bry and Punk, Styles. Oh my
yeah,
goodness.
you know. But I wouldn't consider TNA that much independent because you know they still had a big push.
Yeah,
from
it was
Dixie
main,
Carter
yeah, it was
and
main.
all
They was
that
a
shit.
they was an official.
But he
company.
held that company up on the shoulders.
It's kind of like
Him and Kurt.
Yeah.
what AEW is doing right now. I think that original TNA cast, you got AJ Styles, you know, LAX, Shark Boy, Petey Williams,
Yeah.
Eric Young.
Christian
I mean,
Cage.
the Saban,
Yeah.
the Motor Shitty Machine Guns, like that original TNA cast was hot. And then Dixie Carter, Hulk Hogan,
Yeah.
and then you bring in, which I love Kurt Angle, I love
Have you seen
Scott,
him now
Kevin
lately?
Nash,
With
Perk Angle?
Perk Angle?
Yeah, his neck surgery.
Perk
Kurt
Angle.
Angle.
He looks like the Batman suit. You know the original Batman, Michael
it's got,
Keaton
like, the
suit.
Yeah.
And he can't turn his neck. He's
And he's wanting to come back for another match because
make your
Christ.
ankle
his last
hurt.
one was very disappointing. Of all people, you're gonna have a scrub and I mean this scrub not because he's a heel. I really think he's trash. Baron Corbin
Yeah,
be the
yeah.
guy to retire Kurt Angle.
a bum ass Baron
Like,
Corbin.
I could see like Cena, Edge, you know, someone along those lines because that's kind of the rivalry he had.
Shelton.
You know,
See, I forgot he
Yeah.
played for
Shelton.
the Colts, so
Shelton Benjamin would
I
be.
forgot Baron
Ooh.
Corbin played for the Colts.
Yeah,
until
long-term
Pat
booking with that
McAfee-
one.
Yeah,
Pat
SummerSlam,
McAfee.
we're getting Baron Corbin and Pat
Yeah,
McAfee. My money's
yes,
on
sir.
Big
Pat,
Money
baby,
Pat.
yeah.
Oh yeah,
Fuck
Pat
yeah, dude.
McAfee is one of
Being
the
out there
best athletes I've ever
Smoking weed with Aaron
seen.
Rodgers.
That dude was NFL athlete. I've seen him on the ball court. The dude can play basketball. The dude can wrestle. Like,
Well, my first introduction to him is we were partying at Broad Ripple, and all of a sudden you hear like a lot of commotion. Me and my brother used to bar hop, and apparently Pat McAfee was doing the same thing, and he was dared to jump in that reservoir right there at Broad Ripple.
In the circle.
oh
No, it's like right next to the bank.
Oh,
Like I
okay.
call it, it's like a big old reservoir, like a lot of apartments and shit.
yeah, I know what you're
And
talking
I'm like
about.
walking over there, and you see the cops pulling out Pat McAfee. Well, I didn't know who it was at the time. I was like, oh, some drunk fell in the goddamn water.
That's when he was getting in trouble with
Yeah,
the
yeah,
Colts
yeah, that's what I'm
because
saying,
he
yeah.
left over.
And-
He
yeah.
got like 2 or 3 times arrested
Yeah,
over.
he was, and that was my friend's. I
drinking.
didn't know it was Pat McAfee until the next day, and I was like, "Dude, that was Pat McAfee."
Yeah,
He pulled
he-
out of the fucking reservoir.
I think that's one of the reasons. I'm not for sure, but I watch his podcast all the time. But he left the NFL because he was getting in trouble and stuff, and he
he
was
was
like,
on Bob and Tom and shit.
Yeah,
dude,
yeah.
That's how his introduction to radio and everything. He's like,
And
"Oh,
his
I can do this."
podcast is-
Oh yeah, it's pretty good. If you like, even if you don't like football, you know him with AJ Hawk when they go back and forth. It's
Yes.
hilarious.
my favorite podcast of him was because he's the only dude I've ever seen it was getting Brock to open up and
Yeah.
see the real Brock Lesnar. That was cool. I tried watching the whole one with Vince, but it was like 4 hours long.
Well, yeah, thank you guys for coming out. We'll wrap it up now. We got
Sweet.
Spot 420, so we got to smoke some ganja. They'll fly away as soon as I start smoking it. But yeah, thank you guys. Dirty Birds. This is the Message Show podcast. Thank you guys and have a good night.
Ghost and Roaster out.
You're listening to the Mess and Show podcast.
Shut the fuck up up and just press play. You're not a fucking DJ, man, you're just a slave. Everybody says that you're on the spectrum. You don't know what that is, so you take it in the rectum. Don't give a fuck, but I give a hell yes. Stone cold with the cold flow, broke as a joke. Beat you fucking up as the goddamn joke. The funny thing is, you a Rastafari. Trying to be a Muslim, but you handicapped. As a matter of fact, that's why I'm mad. You're such an old hat, that's why I laugh. I paint the perfect picture, you're the pussy with the dress. Less stress for the mess. Faking all the success, taking no more regrets. Fuck what you mix. Pantera Kid is a sign of heritage. Nose to the grindstone, close to the comatose. I'm bald and fat, and I'm always talking shit. I'm never up to scratch, but only bitches quit. I'm bald and fat, and I'm always talking shit. I'm never up to scratch, but only bitches quit.